Good evening, everyone. We're so happy to be back. Um, well, we have some updates to share with you all related to the Heidi Plank case. We have been in touch with some people who know a lot of information. We can't share too much because we don't want to harm some of the activities that they're involved in right now. Um, but we did want to share some of the intel that we got, which is really interesting, and it makes me really concerned about whether or not this case will be solved without the help of people like you and other YouTubers and people who have obsessions that they don't get paid for. so we
Hello,
have
everyone.
so we have a document going, and if you stay till the end, look at me, I'm such a YouTuber. But if you stay to the end, we have some news we'd like to tease to you all. Really exciting. It's related to what we're doing here, but it's also some personal news as well. So yeah, we'll talk about that. Frank, very interesting. We can talk about that a little bit. I think I had mentioned it on a previous stream, if I remember correctly. But I'll give more details about that because that person has seemed to disappear and they were using. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Like, were the photos that were sent to Dawn that the actual day that Heidi's was last seen, or was it a different day? We don't know. So I spoke to someone in the building, and we'll talk about what this all means and how it could affect the case. And basically, it's who's the liar. That's the game we're playing.
Yeah. Ultimately, we know that those things happened. Whether those pictures were from that day or not, we're not sure. But other things we have officially
Mm-hmm.
confirmed. But
So, did we want to start on updating? So we I guess we spoke amongst ourselves and we decided, we really like to focus on some of the companies that are in the building because we find those very, very interesting. So, as well as Heidi's companies. So, have there been any updates there? Because we know that in the background, some people have removed her name from certain documents. She was previously, you know, co-owner or manager of certain companies, and then the day she, the police got the warrant to get in the Ani building, suddenly her name was removed quietly. Okay. So we'll talk about that too. So, given I am not the expert on company and LLCs, like, to be honest, to be honest, I don't actually know the difference. This is gonna People are gonna be like, "Wow, I can't believe you're about to say this." But I don't actually know the difference between an LLC and a company. Is company just an umbrella term that anyone can use and it's not protected? And an LLC is like like a documented, like you go in and you like what is
both
it?
they're both documented. They both have different requirements and different regulations, and it depends on the funding, the how the formation of the company or LLC is. So, I mean, there are corporations that are LLCs as well. So,
So then what's
and
the
we have
difference
a
between
few
an
of them. We
LLC
have a
and a
few of them here.
corporation? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what? I watched that a really really great YouTube one day.
I was just
Um,
gonna say, I bet there's something on YouTube we could
no,
watch.
there is, and uh, actually we'll post that link.
Yes, limited
Um,
liability company.
right. So
Yeah, different types of business licenses altogether. Because
well,
to
not
me, like,
licenses. Companies, I think, are more license oriented. LLCs are more. Um, it's easier to move money through them or different things through them, and that's not
okay,
a textbook example or textbook definition, but LLCs are often used to hold money to um, corporations. I don't know. That's a good question. If define the two different ones, I can't really do that. I don't
I know.
know. That's a
I
good
can. I
question.
can. I can. It's such riveting information, right? That we're talking about the definitions of words. So
Right.
let's
Well,
not do that right now. But maybe
well,
what we'll
we
do.
will in a second
Yeah. Well, we want to
because
talk about the LLCs, right?
well, and there's one company that was created solely to umbrella over several LLCs, and this was recent. It's on our list. We'll go down and talk about it.
Okay, hold on. Oh, I have a quick comparison chart I can share with you guys. You know what? Let's do it. This is a working meeting suddenly. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay, fictitious the ink. Yeah, ink is different though.
Uh,
So
Here we go. One sec.
there's yeah.
I'm just gonna share this just quickly. We can talk about it. Um, so a limited liability company. Oh, this is very small. Right. So they have different tax rules and they're maintained differently. So a limited liability company, IRS rules allow LLCs to choose between being taxed as a partnership or a corporation. Interesting. So it means that they would save a lot of tax money, potentially, right?
Correct. And there's different requirements for filing tax filings also between the two.
Okay, right. And then corporation is
LLCs
a
are much
separate.
more lenient rules.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, I mean, that's all we really need to talk about. For that, I don't want to bore our audience, but it was good learning for me at the very least. So I'll hand it back over to you, Dawn, if you want to talk about some of the
Sure.
updates that you found related to the LLCs in this case.
Okay, sure. So some of the updates we found, which are quite interesting to me, were Heidi's main place of employment was reported as the El Segundo Camden Capital. Her name was on Camden Capital Partners, which now was created by John Crambier, which should have been Heidi's main overseeing boss at El Segundo, not Sugarman. But they're both partners. Crambier is the one who created Camden way back.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
years ago. So he recently update. So Camden has split off into the Change LLC, which
Mm,
Stephen Sugarman is on the board of. He's a partner. But the actual Camden Capital Partners, which used to be in Heidi's name, is no longer in Heidi's name. It is back in Crambier's name. And Crambier, with also associated now, which is new, is Megan Udis, Cara Bacella, Courtney, Amanda, Carrie Nicholas, and a few others. None of these people I have heard of until now. But Camden, as we know, had several different LLCs and companies associated with it, just like the Change LLC, Change Mortgage, Change. So now, as of right now, company as of 520. I'm sorry, 520. There's a company called Paracorp, which we've run across a couple times before. It now umbrellas Camden Credit Opportunity Fund, Camden Energy Opportunity Fund, Camden Municipal Opportunity Fund, Camden Capital Advisors, and Camden Capital.
So did they acquire the company? Is that what
No, no,
happened?
no. They created the company, Paracorp, but it had been created. What they did is they moved these aspects of Camden underneath Paracorp.
Oh.
So, and Heidi's name has been taken off of Camden Capital Partners now. Finally.
And when did that happen?
That happened recently, January 17th, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very recent.
Wow. That is really recent. I wonder what took them so long. Why do you think that would have taken them?
Who
Because
knows?
there were so many others that on the 4th, like as soon as the police got the warrant, quietly removed her name.
Right.
And so
Well,
it's interesting.
and to that effect, Jason Sugarman created Sugarman Consulting LLC on the 29th of October, which is 12 days after she went missing. So, which is quite interesting. And I have the last statement that was filed on 11/6, right next to the 4th for the other ones that were changed.
Wow.
So that's just that's a quick update. We actually found some more information that's quite interesting. That's been there for a while. We just hadn't run across it. There's so much, so we just hadn't run across it.
The Cohiba?
Oh no, that I was actually I didn't put this in here. The Bally Bunyan that we were talking
yes.
about. Oh, my bad. You know what? Yeah, sorry. It is at the end. We'll talk about it when we're done with all the LLCs. Okay. There is a whole section about it.
Because that was quite interesting. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's not just her involved; it's other players that had some involvement that we thought
old players or old names, new players. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so on we go to Cohiba. Maybe I'll share the screen here because we do have a little bit of. Oh, hold on. There we go. I'll make that a little bit bigger. Might be too big. Oh, that's okay. So you can see it's still. So this this is something that we've newly found, but it hasn't changed, right? Like it's still registered to her.
It's been there. No, we've had it. We had it up here, and we had it going to Heidi, my board, my beautiful board. We did have it going from Heidi and Jason as well, because Jason, I believe, started that one.
Right, and he's no longer listed. Is he? Is he no longer?
He is not. He hasn't been for quite some time, but
okay.
But yep. Okay, so these are just the ones that we went back and checked, and I just updated, took away some, didn't add too much, but I did find out a few things.
Yeah, and I definitely want to talk about that. But are you able to list the companies that she is currently registered?
I am.
This is like, you're like, I am ready. Let me, is that a clipboard? Is that an actual clipboard? Tell me it's a clipboard.
Here, it's it's a pad of paper, and then I'm down to this.
Oh, nice. Like, very nice. I'm gonna buy you.
Oh, I have files.
Okay, let's see. Let's hear the list. Because I think, like, to anyone listening, if you want to, we would love if you could dig into all these corporations. And part of the magic happens when you don't just find the filings, but you look at who is listed on them. Then you find that person's public phone number. We never do anything illegally. And then you Google the phone number and find out where all these connections go. So that's kind of how we do it. And then, of course, there's the whole social media impact, where you can easily find connections that way. But I think people are catching on to that because they make their profiles private.
I think so too. Yeah.
But I'll hand it over to you. So I'm passing the baton. So you just tell us about the list of LLCs that Heidi is still named as a manager or just involved in some way.
Or her address.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes. That's
address as well. So her address is still on Pavia Processing, which is becoming quite interesting the more and more I look into it. Augustus Gardini. Mm-hmm. And that was one where Elizabeth Sugarman is also on it, as well as George Baker.
Still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And I found out that Jason Sugarman in 2007 is the one who actually created that.
Okay.
So definitely was the source, the original source.
Okay. I was just going to say, so in 2007 he created it, and then
Correct.
stuff went down with his brother and the tribal
Tribal
bond
bond.
scheme, and then things he seemed to have, and now we don't, this is speculation, but it sounds as though his reactive actions were to remove his name and pass him along to other people, right? Like for
Well,
some
he
of these
was
companies.
required to, and that's the thing. He was
uh
required to. The court required the names and addresses to be removed from anything associated with that case.
right, yes, and we did talk about that
But they
last
were,
time.
we did, and that's how we came up with brand. That's how we came up with several of these, several of these. Okay,
So Pavia
so
processing, that is the, it's
oh,
a
I do have a
essentially.
change. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
there you go. Yeah.
Camden Capital Partners did change on the 17th of December.
Hmm. Okay.
And it
Interesting.
also changed addresses. So, this whole time it's been her name, her address, and now it's located in Upland, California, with nobody's name, but they have services that a lot of them use.
A lot of
This
them
one happens to
being
be InCorp, is this one.
okay.
So,
And by a lot of them use, you mean her other companies or companies she's associated with, or
no,
just
no,
companies in
LLCs in
general?
general.
Ah, okay. Okay.
LLCs in general. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, okay, so I was reading what Ali was saying regarding a sole proprietor LLC or right, and
Right.
that's correct, Ali. Yeah. All right. So and also, InCorp Services is actually has been for quite some time the agent for several others. Because remember,
Related to this.
we started out with 32.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
She did a laundry list of associated with companies for sure.
yes.
So Pavia processing,
All
there's
right,
what?
and then
There's P.
we have Guardian. We went through that. Cohiba Assets, BMW Holdings LLC, which is in Nevada. Um,
Pavia
and
processing, SI investors.
SI Investors, and that's about it. I mean,
And
well,
brand.
she's still no, she's still on Arcadian too. Arcadian
Oh,
the second, yeah,
yeah, we can talk about that.
and
Who
then
else is on
Arcadian,
Arcadian?
yeah, right. Matthew Nordgren, surprisingly.
Matthew Nordgren.
Actually, she's on the Cohiba Asset Management one. There's three or four Cohibas,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
but her name is actually on the asset management one, and her address is on Arcadian Capital still.
But her name isn't.
Her name is not.
See, that's interesting because who owns her house?
We don't really. Well, we do know, but we don't have. I haven't found. Maybe you have connected it. I haven't found a solid connection that I
Well,
have on paper.
all we know is that on the, like if you go to Google Maps, and I don't know if it's been updated yet, but you know what? I'm gonna do it. Let's see if we can find it. Um, what is her address again? I had it
It's
right there. 3129
3129 Helms.
Holmes Avenue. There we go.
I mean, Helms Avenue LLC actually owns that, or Helms Circle actually owns the property or the land.
Didn't Bank of
The
California?
Bank of California helped finance the building of it
Yeah.
with Helms
To me,
Circle. With Helms
oh
Circle,
yeah, you
though,
can see
and
it. Hold on. I'm gonna share my screen. So look at
but
that.
this is such an old picture. That's
I
from
know,
like
I
that's old
know.
though.
When is it? It's from, I know, but that's
Two,
what that's all I'm saying is I think this is, usually it has a, oh, 2000, this is 2019. Um,
that's
but
just right before she moved in. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all I'm saying is we know Jason Sugarman is associated with Bank of California. Period. That's all we know. We don't know who still owns it, who owns it. If, we don't know any of
In
that information.
2019, he was not though anymore. Stephen
But his
was
brother was.
still, I believe,
Yes, exactly.
but not for very
It's too
long
close for
because
comfort for
mid
me.
2019 he was, both of them were from Bank of
Hmm.
California.
Hmm. It's just a nice building to look at. Okay.
It really is. And if you could, oh gosh, I do have a picture, and I should have put it up here. The old one was,
Oh,
it was,
disgusting.
well, not disgusting, but if you look at the next door, it looked almost like the next door
Oh,
in that
yeah.
picture, which is very,
Not to say that's not it. Like,
no,
I love
it's a
donuts,
cute little house.
but
But
it
look at the
sticks out like a
difference.
sore thumb, eh?
It really does.
Like,
I
look
mean,
at
it
all
looked like
this.
all the other houses. It was
Yeah.
completely demolished and built back up, it seems.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Ugh,
It's
that
unreal.
that truck. I still get PTSD from. I shouldn't
And
use that.
I
I shouldn't say
know.
that. It gives me
It
anxiety a
gives me
little bit.
Gabby feelings.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Okay, so well, that's interesting. But either way, that is really the only connection we have. But still, I wonder who owns this building where they're still using it as an like if Matthew Nordgren is still using that as the mailing address, I'm guessing.
Several, well, a lot of them are.
Then who has access to the like he has to be able to pick up the mail somehow.
David Asali, the owner who actually owns the building, and obviously Helm Circle owns the land because they probably have, I'm assuming they have a mortgage on it, so they haven't paid that off yet. He owns the building, the property. I mean, the building, the home.
Mm-hmm.
But the land is owned by Home Circle. So David Asali is actually the owner and is Heidi's landlord, and we don't know where the mail went. The mail has been forwarded
And is David Asali
mysteriously.
is he connected to anything but being the landlord? Do we
Nope.
know? Have we looked into him?
Uh huh.
Hmm.
I have. Yes, I
Interesting.
have
But does he work?
extensively.
He works for the Helms company as no?
No, he built on property owned by Home Circle. So he didn't. He paid, and I'm sure financed by Bank of California. Built that house because
Hmm.
the house that was there was very, very, very different, very
Hmm.
small. So
But
at that point is when he
regardless,
bought that. Yeah,
hmm, but then Heidi moved in.
Heidi moved in after. I went on Redfin
Yeah.
and a couple others and found actually when they were trying to rent that out, that hurry part of the unit. There's two units. There's actually two units, two separate houses on at that address.
Hmm.
So he lives in the back. She lived in the front part. But technically, they're actually separate because they're separated by the middle. The middle is
Hmm.
separate. So, but I did find the rental ad, the ad for the rental. It's still up.
It's
It's
still
not.
up.
It doesn't say that it's for rent or lease or anything like that or sale. But it's still
Oh,
up. That's the old house right
yeah.
there.
Wow. It's cute. I think it's cute.
It's adorable, but that's what it used to look like. So you can
Mhm.
imagine the renovation,
Yeah.
if you if you can even call
Significant.
it that. Hmm.
Yeah. But either way, I guess the point I'm trying to make is there's some connection there. Like even if it was just a financial, I'm not saying that it had anything to do with her disappearance, but I'm saying like we're connecting all these dots between like, who knows? Like, sure, like
How
the
did she
landlord might,
afford the rent? There is the question.
yeah. And the fact that it was financed by Bank of California, she paid the rent, she didn't own the building, she paid to a landlord who, like I've never met my landlord. I work through
I
somebody
haven't
else.
either.
I would never know who my landlord is. And sometimes that's a good way to like stay at arm's length away from, but this is
They were
speculation
very
and I
close. They became very close.
the
He
landlord
actually,
and Heidi.
yeah, he actually became very good friends with Heidi. spent
Yeah,
some
I'm
time
not
with her, a
saying
lot of time with
the
her.
landlord
Yeah.
had anything to do with it. I'm just saying
Oh
that
yeah.
like she paid rent and essentially this, given the Bank of California helped fund it, it's not, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that there's some sort of
I think
tie-in somewhere.
I think the bigger question is how did she afford $3,200 in rent every month?
Yeah.
Um, but, because based on her reported yearly income, it is
Yeah.
nothing close to being able to afford something like that. So,
Well, and we spoke to Derek Galanis,
hmm
Jason Galanis's brother, and he said, "Oh yeah, getting massive tips for being involved in some work that no one wants to do, like that's run of the mill stuff when you're doing white collar crime like that. Not
hmm
to say that this is what happened, but he seemed to not bat an eye at that. He thought,
right,
oh, this is another day, another day."
right, exactly.
So let's move on to, do we want to focus on any of the companies anymore? Like, did you find anything particularly interesting about any of the updates or lack of updates?
Well, yeah. So I would love to talk about Brand 007, which I have to say right
Mm.
now is no longer active, but it sure as heck is interesting.
So
So this is
is this it?
the original filing in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
It lasted. Let's see. What's the date on that filing? It's really small.
It's it's March 8th.
Okay.
I can't make it any bigger, but
March
yeah,
8th.
March
Well,
8th,
yeah.
2020.
If you go down right below it, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at 3/14, 2020.
Wait, what?
Right there. Keep going. The
Down?
next document.
Oh, the next
Correct.
one. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, they canceled. So why?
How many days later?
Yeah, that's
So,
like what? Yeah.
okay, but I found something that's related.
Ooh,
So, can you go to that link right there?
this one?
Yes.
Mm-mm-mm. Ah, ooh, we've seen
MVMD.
this. So let's talk
Now,
about it.
okay, let me just read a little the section that applies to brand 007. Yeah?
Let's do
All
it.
right. So it says distribution MVMD's initial focus is on making investments in strategic alliances and sales and marketing initiatives that open up distribution in key markets across the global health and wellness cannabis industries. North America online sales in line with MVMD's exploration and focus on establishing key supply agreements and distribution partnerships to maximize the focus on to maximize the resulting issuer's product throughout. The resulting issuer intends to allocate, okay, here we go, $250,000 of its business development available funds to an investment into Brand Wellness LLC, a private U.S. limited liability company in the business of direct to consumer online health and beauty product distribution. The investment would support the formation of a joint venture and initial operating costs for a
Proprietary.
proprietary online marketing technology and unique customer acquisition methodology that would offer strip and stick pack products across key target lines, including but not limited to sleep, anxiety, libido, vitamin D, testosterone, and anti-aging. Oh,
Do you know
now
what this is making me
V
remember?
patch, V
V-patch.
patch.
V-patch. We were wondering what
Surprise!
that was.
Yeah,
Vitamin patch or something. Like that has to be it. And
yeah.
so it's interesting then that they funneled
Well,
US $250,000 into
so
this.
here's the thing: it was only in her name. She owned. She was she. If you go up and look, the owner of that company is Heidi P. Wayne. And then if you the short form cancellation certificate. Now, this is what's really blows my mind. Is this says Read everything. Read.
Did you just try to zoom in?
I'm trying. I can't see it. Yes, I did try to zoom in. Can you tell? That was horrible.
So you touched the screen.
Sorry.
So which one do you want me to read?
Well, I mean, if you read it.
The statements?
Right. The
Okay,
short
so
form certificate of cancellation. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that I can do that. Is being filed within 12 months from the date the article of organization were filed with the California Secretary of State. The LLC does not have any debts or any other liabilities except as provided in Statement C. Here's Statement C. All final tax returns required under the California Revenue and Taxation Code have been or will be filed with the California Franchise Tax Board. Franchise Tax Board. The known as, and maybe that's not weird, but I think that's interesting.
This is within 7 days.
Yeah,
this all had to happen within 7 days.
Yeah, adequately providing debts or liabilities have not been distributed. Wait, hold on. The known assets of the LLC remaining after payment of or adequately providing for known debts and liabilities have been distributed. Or the LLC has acquired no known assets. We know that's not true, so they must have been distributed.
No, it is true. And within 7 days, they started it 7 days before the 4th.
I'm saying what's not true is they didn't acquire.
Oh, correct.
Assets.
Yeah, right.
They definitely acquired assets.
Yeah.
The LLC has not conducted any business from the time of the filings of the articles of organization.
The only part that's true.
Yeah, 50% or more of the voting interests of the managers, one person, or members voted, or members the person, or 50% or more of the person signing. Wow, that is a really bad sentence. Voted to dissolve the LLC. Okay, we know that. And payments received by the LLC for interest from investors, if any, we know that there's so much, have been returned to those investors.
So where did that $250,000 go?
Is VPatch still operating?
No, it was very short term as well.
So this is a way they're creating companies.
So I don't know the difference between them, but I know this is the purpose of an LLC, and this is proof. Yeah,
this smells like.
And people do this
garbage.
A lot. Yeah.
This is so slimy. So they create these companies, and they can do that electronically very easily.
Well, what's crazy is the MVMD. That whole part of it was actually part of the court case. Like that was one of the agreement. That was it
tribal
was already. No. The MDMV. That's what you're looking at right now.
That's what I'm looking at. But in what court case was it involved?
See, well, hold on. I can't see your screen. One sec.
Oh, hold on. I can probably zoom in even more.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm not sure if you go up to, I think it's a formation. I'm not sure. If you go back up to the U.S. Court of Appeals. So it is a court. Something happened in MVMD had been involved because they are not the only company. There are tons of different companies that were underneath the umbrella of MVMD.
Okay, following a lengthy delay in the review process and a lawsuit filed by one of the applicants related to the delay. Oh, who would that have been?
That's exactly.
DEA was ordered by the U.S. Court of Appeals to respond by August 28, 2019, and on August 26, 2019, the DEA provided a notice of applications and confirmed that it was moving forward to facilitate and expand scientific and medical research for marijuana in the United States. From a press release issued, although there is no current timeline for approval nor a guarantee that the applicant will receive approval, MVMD believes that the recent developments represent a positive step towards obtaining the DEA license. However, there have been no material developments to management's knowledge since the announcement in August 2019. And so is this Arcadia?
This is not. However, it was at the same time Arcadia, the last Arcadian was created. So, and if you remember, so she was on Arcadian prior to this. So if you go down and look, there's a lot of companies that are named here, and Brand is just one of them. I didn't read the whole document. It's a lot of pages.
Well, that reminds me of
like that.
Who were the people in the penthouse? What was their company name?
It was, that's on here. I put it into the document. Empire Genetics.
Empire Genetic. Yes, that's not the one I'm talking about though.
Oh, okay.
These are the hold on.
Fun Girl Farms.
No. Owned by
There's two
Tan.
we
Who was it? Tan.
Michael Segay, that one?
Yes. He had that marijuana company.
Right. Oh, there are just so many. That whole building's full of it.
He had a podcast around. Actually, I think it was Arcadian who did this podcast where they were talking about like, oh, we like to, work with cannabis companies without ever touching a flower.
Yes, that was Arcadian.
So that makes sense.
That was Matt. Yeah. That was Matt Nordgren's company.
Matt Nordgren and Heidi.
And Heidi.
But and we kind of exchanged some things with Matt, and we were hoping to do an interview to really because he, in response, said like, I'm really concerned about her. I haven't seen her in many years. We used to be business partners, and we're like, huh? But yeah. you are now. Like we were like, maybe we're wrong, and we checked to make sure Heidi was still on Arcadian, and she was at the time when we reached out to him.
Haven't spoken to her in years does not make any sense to me.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. And I kind of alluded to that. I was like, oh, it's interesting because you share a company with her, like present tense. And then we never ended up getting the interview. Right. So maybe I was a little too...
that seems to be a recurring event once we get to a certain point. Yeah. And people are like, oh, whoops.
They're like, ooh, should I talk about this?
Right. Let me just consult with my attorney. And that's why I was digging earlier with you. Yes. I'm like, wait a second. This is a recurring theme. At a certain point, people start getting real nervous.
Right.
And concerned for their own financial and, well-being and mostly.
Okay. So now we know that MVMD sent $250,000 into Brand Wellness LLC. Correct. And then Brand Wellness put it into VPatch. We can speculate.
We can speculate on that because it was at the same time period. Both of them were short term. I'm going to stand on what I had said before. I really truly believe that money was supposed to be HEIDI'S. I think that was because obviously she was getting paid something. She was getting bonuses. And this was in only her name. So I think maybe if we stay on the address issue, I think we might come up with something. I haven't done that. I haven't gone that route yet. But I know I'm thinking she had to have her own savings. Mm-hmm. At some point somewhere, she was.
Well, we know she lived lavishly.
Correct.
And we know she cared a lot about Bond.
Absolutely.
That was her drive.
And I believe, this wasn't that long ago. $250,000 was not that long ago.
Yeah.
So where is that money?
Where is that money is a good question.
Right.
And so with that, do we want to focus on some of the LLCs that are currently located in Hope and Flower, like Empire Genetics?
I would love to.
Let's do it. So Empire Genetics is Walter Sonoza. Mm-hmm. So is there anything about him that's interesting?
Oh, well, his Instagram is quite interesting. I didn't post those pictures, but
should we check it out?
Yeah, go for it.
Hold on. Is it Spinoza? Or Sinoza?
No, it's Sinoza.
Instagram. Empire Investments. Got it. Oh, yes, this guy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, private account.
Oh, I belong to it. Shoot. How do I share my screen from... Oh, wait, I can probably get onto it here. Hold on.
Yeah. $250,000. That would change anyone's life.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? She definitely deserved at least that with everything she was doing. Okay, so now I have this up. Let me share my screen here. Quite interesting. Ah, one day. Okay. Alrighty.
Look at you.
Woohoo.
There he is.
So we've
Oh,
got
yes. Look at all those
look
watches.
in the background of the watches picture.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Sure looks
Oh,
like
it looks
downtown
like
LA.
it sure looks like one of the Hope and Flower buildings, at very least.
Speculation.
This is not speculation. That's definitely Hope.
There we go.
That is the Hope
Oh,
building
yes. Yeah.
below,
Yeah.
which means he's in the Flower building up on 3108. And I know that because
Yeah, 3109 actually is
thank
where
you.
the Empire
My
Genetics
bad.
is
But
registered.
here's what's ironic. If you go up to, let's see, his followers.
Oh God, he's a lot of followers.
Yeah, but there's
3,000.
one specifically. Actually, no. Actually, this person has liked a lot of his stuff, so you can just and is tagged. Look at that.
Who is that? Oh, automatically don't trust them.
So interesting, and there's just it goes on and on. Oh, just
So for those of you
much.
who don't know, that Glam University is a company owned by Sabrina Peterson, who is the person who apparently was at the party with Heidi that night that she passed away and helped push her down the trash chute, apparently, and gave
Who's
Dawn a
become
concussion,
friends, right?
and has become good friends with the two women who were first looking for Heidi all over the news, whose names are Lauren and Danielle. So we don't fully trust Sabrina, to say the least, nor anyone associated with her. However, I don't know if we want to go there
Go
yet.
ahead.
Do we want to talk
Yeah.
about the other companies first?
No,
There's
well,
Paleo,
we
there's
can go down.
Bonaire.
We can go down this road because
Okay.
it is connected. We're talking about Hope and Flower, so
So I don't
take
I
it
don't
away.
know. Should we show the Yelp review?
Well, yes, um, yes.
I'll read it.
It's public. It's public.
It was
public.
public.
It was taken
Yeah,
down,
okay.
but I took screenshots. You took screenshots, so
Okay,
before it was
I'll share it. So I took the person's name out because I do want to protect their identity. Whoops. But I will share my screen and show you guys what I found anyway. Here we go. Here. Okay, so this is what I found, and I actually ended up reaching out to this person. But don't be fooled by the exterior. This place is run by uneducated, disrespectful group of flyers / degenerates. Once you've signed and they hand over your keys, it's downhill from there, downhill for the tenant, that is. I've started looking for a new place to call home. This is by far from what one can and should call or consider a home. Management here has a lot to hide and a lot to sweep under the rug. Don't be fooled. So this was posted on the 16th of January. Immediately when I saw this, because I'll probably read the Yelp reviews like once every few weeks, I reached out to this person. And to my surprise, they responded. And they really wanted to talk. And they were very open. So we exchanged numbers and we started talking. And it turns out that this person, I don't want to give too much away because I really do want to respect their identity and I don't want to impact their life in any way. But they are, I'll just say, very well connected in the building. And I had a lot of conversation with them before, unfortunately, they spoke to their attorney and their attorney advised them to stop talking to us because yes. And I really think this person is a good person, and
yes.
So this is why, like, a lot of what they said makes me question everything that we've been told or whatever. And I'll read you some of what they said.
Well, if not question, actually resolve ourselves
Yeah.
to some possible
Yeah. So this person knew of, I won't say, anyway, they knew just a lot of people in the building, a lot of the people that we've talked about. And they mentioned that a lot of the people in the building, being residents, are very upset because they're being silenced by Ani, which is the people who own the building, Hope and Flower. They said that the cleaners were put to work between the time that Heidi went missing and when law enforcement got a warrant. So they were put to work from
Your
2
dog, I'm
I
sorry.
know, I'm trying to ignore him. They were put to work
So
from
cute.
2 to 5 a.m. every single day, from the time that Heidi disappeared to the time that the police got the warrant. So 2 to 5 a.m. That's a pretty weird time to go clean out the trash area. The trash bins were also replaced. And you got a picture of that.
I
And
did.
so I'll show that photo.
And I can vouch for that. On the first floor lobby, the wall was completely under construction. So that checks out.
Whoops. So that's
That's the new one.
the new trash building. This was
Definitely
just
not.
early
Yeah,
December.
not the company that was taking care of it before.
Nope. So I'll continue reading, and I'm verbatim quoting this person. I asked about, so we had, and I mentioned this last stream, but the people living in the penthouse that apparently hosted the party that Heidi died at, said that the photos that were taken, that were sent to us of that night, weren't actually that night. They were of 2 evenings prior. So I asked about that, and she said, whoever reached out to you is trying to cover tracks. A lot of tracks need to be covered within these walls. They also said that Sabrina doesn't lie and that she has a conscience, which is interesting, because then I said, well, who would help someone, push a body down a trash chute if you have a conscience? Like, to me, that's like, wild. That's a stretch. And we also know that now I haven't been able to find the actual police records on this, so if anyone can, that would be great. But apparently Sabrina went to prison for the assault with a razor blade of her babysitter for not getting back with her car fast enough.
Well, and I also added, I believe I found some other court documents of hers
Oh,
that
okay.
are in there. Right past.
Oh, I see. Yep. Okay, let me open it up.
Quite
Here we go.
interesting.
So Sabrina Peterson, Lonzo, Art Williams. Okay, so what is this about? This is the defendants were named superseding indictment for their role in conspiracy to distribute heroin. Huh. That lasted from 1991 until August 1999. That's 8 years. Their co-defendants, as well as 4 other co-conspirators.
And it is the same Peterson.
Yeah. Wow. Just got
And
some
then-
heroin over New York.
There's also a court case in LA that's still open for assault and battery at the airport.
Estimated that Williams maintained a running debt of $10,000 and $15,000. Heroin from a hot. Wow, this is.
It's pretty serious.
So was she charged?
Yeah, she was charged. I think she was. I think that is. I don't know. I'm not sure why she was in prison, but she was definitely in prison for.
And was this in Georgia or Atlanta? Yeah.
It happened in New York, but they drove from Georgia to New York.
Okay.
And I guess up to Canada as well.
Great.
So
Now we get a lot of heroin from the States.
Well, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I know we're the black sheep of the family living downstairs from you guys, I think. The U.S.
Yeah,
I can't imagine how you guys
sometimes-
see us.
sometimes been referred to the dumpster fire downstairs.
The dumpster fire.
But not always. We like you guys. I like you.
Thank you.
I like the people. Some of them.
Yes.
Most of them. Some of them. Most of them. Most of them. Okay, so
I'm the only one that matters, okay?
I like John, and that's it, and Allie, and Trey,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Krista, and okay. So
Definitely the basement, Kimberly says. Absolutely.
either way, this person said Sabrina has a conscience. And then let me see. As far as her, and I asked, like, what about her punching Dawn, right? As far as her actions towards Dawn, this person says, I'm sure Sabrina was not in her right mind. She hasn't been in her right mind since all of this happened. And the person also mentioned that one of the well-known staff members, I'm not going to name names, but they quit over this. Apparently, they were the only staff member or management team left up until October when the hit the fan with the Heidi case. This person couldn't live with herself anymore, having to cover up and lie for Ani.
And I believe that was the person that was there with us that night.
Mm-hmm. The night
The
that
manager.
you went and got the concussion, yeah. And Ani did not want this person's 2-week notice. And I asked, like, why are they trying to cover it up? Is this just PR? They said PR and involvement and much, much more. They are dirty. And they also said that the staff members know exactly what happened. And I said, I'm really concerned that Ani or somebody in the building has a really good connection. Ani has good connections with police, and police are going to sweep this under the rug and it will never be known. And their response to me saying that was, I need to tell you something. I'm afraid of the same thing, because everything that has happened here in the past and for it to never hit the Citizens app or even the news or even daily police logs. Incidences occur here, shotguns, break-ins, they're never logged on the police logs. That sent chills through my body. I was extremely concerned when I heard that. And that's when they consulted their attorney and said, you know what? I think it's best that we stop talking. But this person was very kind and said, like, the truth will come out. It just might not be in the time that you want it to, but it will come out. So I'm like,
that gave us enough too. That gave us enough to go off on and dig a little bit. And we came up with a few things. So Ani has a development at the Los Angeles Times building that's coming up, and Jose Huizar, who is right now under federal indictment, is actually that one of his charges revolves around that one of the many charges for money laundering, for so many, but he and somebody named Michael Hughes.
Oh, Michael Hughes.
Yes. Who happens to be absolutely related to Hope and Flower through an LLC called Fun Girl Farms, which Sabrina actually owns as well. But they had an agreement, some type of contract that is no longer. So they were supposed to be building more buildings downtown, right, not far from Hope and Flower, and that is no more. So, and there are some that are being built, but that one is not.
And he's a political figure, is he not?
Huizar, yes.
Yes,
he's a councilman. He was a councilman for the city of Los Angeles, and very powerful. He is now indicted for misuse of funds from underprivileged. It's basically like the tribal bond scheme, but in downtown LA.
Nice.
He had misuse of public funds, of private funds. It's a very in-depth case. I read some of it last night, and their charges were astronomical. I couldn't believe how many charges he has against him.
Really?
Yes. So many, and they're all very serious. Money laundering, fraud, all white collar.
Oh my gosh. So do they need to find somebody else who's powerful to
they
put
already
on the
have.
documents?
They already have. To put on the documents?
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. But
that's their MO.
But Ani has been, there was it was very difficult for them to build the Hope and Flower buildings because of they were in violation of so many ordinances, and they got him to fix that for them. So, and they're continuing. They have some that are just being built at level, which is a block away. Two more buildings.
Just never ends.
They have 2 older buildings, like 4 blocks away, that you can see from Hope and Flower when you're in there.
Wow.
And they've gone downhill. They are horrible now. They have been.
And
go ahead.
sorry, I was just going to say, because we had been discussing the fact that cryptocurrency is like people in real estate. Isn't there something around investment in real estate and cryptocurrency being very good friends?
Well, if you're talking about Jason Sugarman, yes.
I know that he's involved in that and he's tweeting about it.
Well, absolutely, very, very deeply, and he's his tweets.
Oh, I'll bring it up. Hold on.
Thank you. It's very, very hard for me to see his tweets every day, knowing that he has not he's not giving a dime for any information for Heidi or any type of anything.
Okay, and this is something I wanted to bring up. Hold on. I'm just going to bring up his Twitter.
So frustrating.
His tweets are protected. Ugh, I have to follow. You're an approved follower.
Not for me until now. Probably after this they won't be.
Okay. Well, because what did I want?
Can I answer that question? I'm going to answer that question real quick.
Oh.
Even though I believe she overdosed, I don't believe she overdosed. I was told she overdosed. Do I believe that? I don't have enough information or facts to tell you what happened to Heidi yet. I just don't. No, I don't think anybody does. There's a wealth of information out there. Do I believe Sugarman was behind it? Sugarman was very involved with Heidi's life, a personal life, financial life, and yeah, I mean, he really. Don't be sorry. I'm glad you asked that. I'm very glad. But her life, the way it was. She was she went through a lot, and for her to be back on her feet, he was a big part of that. Her being able to have her own place and get Vaughn back, and we have no way of knowing whether her name on things, because a lot of them were electronically filed. Did she even know? We don't know that. We don't have that information. We just know what we have on paper. And what we have on paper does not look good. But murder that's a very serious accusation. I wish I did know what happened to Heidi, and that's why we do this.
Well, and another thing, if she did overdose, okay, let's just say that it was actually the cause of death. Just put it out there. If that were the case, we still don't know if that was intentional or not.
And we have no way of knowing if that's the case. Exactly. But that's what I was told.
And so what I wanted to say, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you mentioned the other murder, right? And how come nobody has put up. I wanted to read something. So a young woman was brutally murdered at the furniture store she was working in alone in the middle of the afternoon on January 14th. The furniture store is in Hancock Park, LA, which is roughly 7 miles from downtown LA. Within a couple of days, LAPD posted a bulletin offering $250,000 as a reward for information leading to the arrest of the suspected murderer, a supposed homeless man with a rap sheet covering both coasts. $200,000 of the reward was raised by private donations, but $50,000 was from public funds. Within 4 days, the suspect was apprehended and arrested. Now,
so someone who owns half of Los Angeles that she works for has not put up that. Yes, that is there is a lot of motive there. There is a lot of motive, and that's why we cannot stop looking into him. Yep.
That's a very sweet thing to say.
Oh, thank you.
If either one of us goes like I'm quitting my job and I'm focusing my life on finding Dawn.
Exactly. And vice versa, of course.
Um,
But yes, there is overwhelming. Although we're digging, trust me. If it's there, eventually we will find it. But, it's a long trek to that point. It's very, very, very complicated and it's very well hidden. We are uncovering it like an onion, piece by piece, but it's a lot. It's a big onion.
And so I wanted to kind of point at, because the reason why we heard this story, or Dawn, you were directly told the story, and then I was told by you, is from Sabrina Peterson. And we don't know if she's involved in this, honestly, but this is
considering what happened to me, I can't put anything past her.
So this person posted, here's what I usually look like. This is this is in my old building where I was very happy. And was this on Yelp? I can't remember where
Yelp.
It was on Yelp.
This was on
and
Yelp.
Then she
this
posted,
lady.
here's what I looked like after getting assaulted.
I kind of blocked it out because I didn't get permission to show her face. But oh my goodness, this girl is beautiful before. And here's not long after. And this is right after Heidi went missing.
Assaulted by a stripper. Who do we know was a stripper? Or is
same person that gave me a concussion at Hope and Flower.
Exactly. Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
This is what.
So there is a lot, and this was not. I saw nothing. I went back to look at the records. I went back to look on the Citizen app. There is nothing that I see that was reported at all. Why is that? It happened at inside the Hope and Flower building. This attack happened to this girl, this young lady. And I find nothing. I can find nothing. And trust me, it was not put up there. That was also hidden and buried. Why is this happening?
Mm-hmm. And I totally, totally, totally agree with Rachel. I absolutely dislike the stigmatization of substance abuse disorder. And it should be taken seriously. It shouldn't be just swept under the rug, because that's so true. From what Ridley said, like, just another junkie. No, they're not just another junkie. These are people with families. We don't know what happened.
Right. And that's the thing, is that police, but obviously police aren't thinking that now, but that could have been what they thought police would think. If that was the scenario, okay, and it was done intentionally, not by Heidi, and done to Heidi intentionally, I think that, that's what they thought the police would think. Mm-hmm. However, the police are now up at a landfill and have been for quite some time. They've gone through, last I heard, over 1,000 tons. 1,000 tons of trash leaking for the smallest bit of evidence.
And here's what concerns me. If what the person I was speaking to who left the Yelp review is being honest, and I have reason to believe that they were, and they had cleaning ladies there from overnight and replaced all the trash bins, who's to say that's where she ended up? Right? They could be spending a ton of money excavating this landfill where she's not even there.
Yeah.
That is horrible. And what I wanted to also talk about,
the police wouldn't be there unless they had really good reason to think that. But here's the thing. The police know things we don't know, but they have not dug like this. Like, haven't dug into all on the face value.
Like, why would Ani... Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm just thinking, like, why would Ani try and silence everybody if the police knew everything, right?
Well, from what I gather and what I've read, Ani is a wannabe type of mafia type company, and they have been for years. They started up in your neck of the woods.
Vancouver.
Yeah, and so they have quite a long history of the mafia type thinking.
Well,
And
there was someone, I think the brother or something was murdered in North Vancouver, and a Hells Angels was sent to do the
yeah.
deed.
So they
All you have
definitely have
to,
connections to
yeah.
LA. And they, I mean, before that, but when they came down here, it's the only way they got those buildings built, and the ones that are being built is through their political connections. Because we didn't, LA didn't allow those types of buildings until then, until they got into it, got their agreement going here. And that was with Huizar, who's now, where is he now? You know, that's not the, I mean, political and financial, just such strong cover up type connections.
And we can't stop. This is why we can't stop. When we hear things like this, it's like, no, well, who's carrying the case now? Is it the police, or is it going to be volunteers, essentially?
Yeah.
There you go. Summed it up. It's too bad.
Yeah.
But what's good is that this information is being looked at by other people.
Yeah. I'm sure they don't like it, but too bad.
Yeah, too bad. You can't get rid of
There's
us
a lot
now.
of truths that need to come out and be uncovered. And we are on quite a few paths.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Rachel. When you do Google brand, I believe it was filed in Nevada.
It's in Nevada, LLC,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. And is Nevada one of the only places where you can use crypto for?
Wyoming, Nevada, and Arizona. No, I think Wyoming's the only one. Nevada and Arizona have some special, and I can't speak on it, so I really need to go watch that video again. But that one video on LLCs I was telling you about, next time we stream,
need to
I'll
watch
put
it.
the link in so you guys can see it as well. But there's something about Nevada and Arizona, and I wish I had that knowledge, but I'm lost.
There's something
I'm not finding
special
finances.
about.
Yeah, but
That's what we need to know is there's a reason why they chose to
Correct.
file in Nevada, just as you would. And you're right, Wyoming is the place where you can invest cryptocurrency to
because
create wealth.
they take crypto as actual property, like as real. I mean,
As assets.
real estate is the same. Crypto you can use. It's the same thing. There, it's considered the same. So that's why a lot of Wyoming LLCs exist.
And so another thing that we wanted to talk about is the muffin drop. Do we want to talk about that? This is pure speculation, but this has been brought up several times by people, and I wanted to see what everyone else thought.
First of all, they were pastries, not muffins.
I know. I'm sorry.
This I
know. So yeah, right. So you know that somebody checked.
Yes, somebody
right?
actually checked that box before it became any type of public record or in the news or media. We know somebody that actually went and looked in that box because it happened to be there by chance. Looked in the box and it's pastries. But there's also Helm's Bakery across the street, which is a very well-known bakery. So I'm assuming whoever it was, stopped, picked up the box of pastries, came, checked the door to see if it was unlocked, put the pastries down and left. And I'm saying whoever it is because, to me, sure does not look like him. But it was his car.
Everything they can tonight.
Let me just turn that off. I'll go to. Oh, look. Okay. So these are this is Danielle. This is Lauren. Just so you know. They're the ones looking.
I'm going to say my opinion is horrible.
Yeah. This is, we all have seen this many times. Jason Sugarman. Here we go. Here's the pastry drop. Leaves the door open.
Pastry drop.
That is his car, right?
That is his car.
You're
However,
right,
that sure
like
as heck
that.
does not look anything like Jason Sugarman. I mean, look how he walks. Even.
But who could that be?
I mean, who could it be? Who knows? I'm sure he has minions all over the place, everywhere. Whoever he sent to get the computer. But the door was locked. That's my opinion. Speculation, speculation.
Speculation warning.
Speculation warning. I'm telling you, that's my opinion.
And we also trust Jim.
I do trust Jim
when he
too.
said that he
absolutely. He
and
has
by his new assistant too, who
100
I'm sure will,
110%.
yeah,
Yep.
mark my words, that assistant will become a manager or something.
Yeah.
She'll get
She'll have
lots
a
of
lot of
promotions.
LLCs in her name, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
oh yeah. She'll start being the manager of LLCs on behalf of him.
All right,
Um,
so oh, go ahead.
was there? I just wanted to get your thoughts on the alleyway video too, because I know that we know how that was retrieved. I
Yes.
don't know how deep you want to go into that, but I think it's
Well,
important to
so
mention.
law enforcement did not retrieve that video. That video was retrieved by the two people that you just saw on the screen, who claimed to be Heidi's friends, and
And who knew her for
they
what, 2 years?
2 years.
Partied with her mostly, yeah.
That's their words. Yeah, they partied with her. That's her words. But they retrieved that from the building that that person was, whoever it was that was walking down the alley, was walking next to and not by. I mean, we've done streams where I actually went down to Hope and Flower. I've done the Heidi walk, we called it, and you can see clearly both cameras on that building that face the alley. That's Flower Alley, and they, as far as what I've been told by a very trusted source, they are the ones that turned that over to the media and to law enforcement.
And did they?
So CBS released it.
How did
and
they
was
get
turned
it?
over well, from what I am told, from a reliable source, they paid for it. Yep.
And that was the video that looked weird, right? Like the
I am
timing
just
it was
saying, like,
upside
there's
down.
so
And
many not okays with that video.
yeah,
But it could be her. I'm sure it's her.
it definitely
Everybody's
looked like 7.
It sure as heck looked like 7. But and maybe she got her hair done when she was down there or something, because it looks like short, curly hair.
Or she could have been wearing a wig.
Or she could have been
She was
wearing a
wigs.
wig. Yep. But there are a lot of. I would just encourage people to go back and look at it, and with
Fine-tooth
without
comb.
knowing what you know, go back and look at it objectively
Mm-hmm.
and see what you think.
Yes, and Ali, that is the video where the timestamp is flipped. At first it said, and it says like AM or PM.
It does
There's
say AM.
weird discrepancies.
And not only does it say AM, but it looks like night. And I mean, it's clear. And it's not just the lighting, because I did that same walk and you can see what the lighting is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something not right about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. There's something just not right about it. She does look back and look up. So it does look like her. But there's a lot about the video that is questionable, and that's my opinion only. So
Yeah, I have
we do know that 7 at 10
I'll show the
o'clock
video.
was at the building. I know that.
So this is a video.
The new video shows Heidi Planck walking her dog in an alley in downtown Los Angeles. The footage of the 39-year-old mother recorded on October 17th.
Look at that. And
the
this
day
flips
she
or something.
disappeared. Friends say it confirms what they
18.
already believed.
We all felt that she
Ah!
11th and 12th Street.
A surveillance camera captures Planck near a
So,
high-rise known
Wait, I have a question. It's been a while since I've seen the part where she turns around and looks up.
17th, the day she disappeared.
Is it in this?
Confirms what they
Should
already
be.
believed.
We all felt that
Here,
she
might be this part.
had walking down an alley between 11th and 12th Street.
A surveillance camera captures Planck near a high-rise known as the Hope and Flower Building. Her dog was later found wandering. Heard from her since then. This video giving them hope that Planck will be found safe.
After weeks and weeks of just going off of blind,
Hold on a second. That's odd.
have some physical evidence.
There is a video of her looking back.
There was. Does it still exist?
Hold on. Heidi I mean, I know that we showed it in an earlier stream.
Right. Interesting.
Let me see if I can find it. Just watched that.
Can we do that full screen? It's so hard to
Yeah,
see.
yeah. I'm just trying to find the actual.
That's fine. Yeah, thank you. CBS was who originally released it, so maybe
I can. Oh, CBS Los Angeles. Yeah, that's the one I was just on. Hold on.
really.
No, not the one that I was showing. I was just looking for it. Okay.
See, there are two cameras CCTVs that face the alley. There was
here we
one,
go.
right? That's the one from behind, and then there's one on the other side of the building as she exits the alley.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I found it.
There.
So wait, I just like find it
There
so
we go,
weird.
right there.
Let's look like just think about how this was edited. This is what they gave. Okay, here we go. Here's 10. See 1022. Is it 1822? The other one. Do you see that?
I know.
That's so
It's
frustrating.
a little
I
confusing.
cannot stand. I don't want to. Yeah, we'll go back to that video. That's her looking up. It does look like her. That looks like her.
It does look like her, in that picture.
But we don't know if that's that day.
Sort of.
Okay, so 1022.
Let's play that again really quickly. I want to see something. No, that when she's walking, it looks up.
Oh. This one. That, okay, so where...
You know she's only 5'3", right? Heidi is 5'3", which is not. It was just short. Mm-hmm. It's hard to tell there, but she was very thin and teeny. Mm-hmm. I don't know. To me, it's the time. That something's not right. I can't put my finger on it, and I'm sure law enforcement has gone over and over and over it with the fine tooth comb.
Just saw that.
418.
I'll do it. I can do this. Let me find first stream. Our first ever stream. Oh, this will be interesting.
Oh goodness. I think that was it just you?
Oh my gosh, it was. 418. It wasn't a very long video. Here we go. Allie, you're so good.
See, now that this is the original one that was put out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt the dog was there.
Get out of here. Yeah.
So,
Yep,
things that make you go,
So, was there
something
anything
to
else?
ponder. Yeah.
I think that's a lot of people, of things to digest.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'll just let me refresh. So if anybody wants to has time on their hands and they want to dig a little bit, feel free. And if you come up with anything interesting, let us know. To go over really quick, BMW Holdings has Heidi's name on it. Pavia Processing and Brand 007, but of course we already know that that's gone. Although September of 2021, I don't know why I have that written down. You know what? September of 2021 in Nevada, Brand 007 was put on a hold. I thought they already closed it. I'll have to double check. Anyway, if anybody wants to double check into that. SI Investors Brand Wellness, Gulfstream Capital, and Cohiba, and anything else you guys would like to dig into?
So yeah, we can put that in the comments once we're done here.
Sure. List them.
But to answer your question, Rachel, there are business connections. So
Sure.
we know that Danielle is the manager for a company that sells office space or rents office space to people who want to create else or like just have office space, kind of like WeWork or
Like a WeWork type.
yeah. And so she manages Los Angeles or like downtown LA type of thing. And a lot of these LLCs use that service. A lot of them.
In both of those buildings. So
What is it,
the
Premier
5757, 979, or 9797. Wilshire Boulevard, both of them. But that's how Danielle and Heidi and Lauren met. And we're assuming, we don't know for a fact, but we're assuming that's Sugarman. That's how Danielle and Sugarman met, because he's obviously has several of his own companies. So that and one at Hope and Flower that is not related to Sugarman, but is related to Danielle. So yes, she in a roundabout way works for him because he rents office space from her company. And she is the general manager. So yes.
And this is the thing. These are how the connections take place here. So we know that there's some sort of connection, but we don't know if they talk. We don't know if they're friends. We don't know, how deep the connection goes.
One person owns the company, several companies that need office spaces that they've come to her exact office that she is the general manager for. So, yep. That's something probably only they know, but
yeah, he is very persistent, and I've been on
such a sweet
my
dog.
computer for a long time today, so this is his way of telling me, indeed, come play, and we will do that. Okay, we will.
We do have a lot more, but we just meant to hop on. Here we go.
We also wanted to tease that we got some really exciting news. So, without revealing too much, because we don't have all the details just yet, but
early next week we'll do another stream. So
we'll do another stream. But I guess the summary is, or the news, the gist of it is that this case will receive a lot more attention, widespread attention, and we will potentially be directly involved in that. And we're so proud of ourselves because
and everybody we work with, whole team,
oh my gosh,
everybody
yeah. So we've had a meeting with some people around a potential partnership, and they said that they spent a week, looking into this case, and they found us first, and they reached out to us to partner.
They found us first, and went to other. It kept coming back to us and back to us and back to us. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, because we have really, really tried to turn a blind eye to, and we haven't always been successful. We've had to talk about it, but other channels, other people who are trying to, just not, they're not approaching the case in a way that agrees with how we do, and that's totally, whatever. We're going to stay in our lane, but it's been hard, and it's been somewhat of a jarring experience to know that not everyone wanted to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. And
we have found out what YouTube is all about in some hard ways, yeah.
Yes,
but that's okay. We're all good.
And in our conversations with these people, we kept saying, it's not just us. It's these, we know so many people, 20 or so people in our Discord, that
25 people that are amazing,
and people who we email with who are not part of the Discord, but are sending us information or offering to look things up for us. So this is not a 2-person team. This is a much bigger team than that, and every single person has been incredibly valuable. So stay
Yeah.
tuned. We'll be able to share a little bit more sometime. I won't say when, because this is really just initial conversations, but it is so
It's very
meaningful.
promising.
It's
Yeah,
very,
and
very
it means a
promising.
lot.
Yeah. And whatever
So,
brings more attention to cases like these, who,
yep.
that might not receive the attention that they deserve, is something that is music to our ears.
They have not found her yet. There is no news from law enforcement. Nothing. We are just trying to keep it out there and keep it alive. And everything that goes along with her is a lot. So, trying to get some answers and some understanding to who Heidi Plank is.
So yes, that is our little teaser. And I think that wraps it up for
We'll
today.
update you as it becomes more
Yeah.
solid, but
Yeah.
we're excited.
But thank you so much for joining us today. You are all amazing. You make us feel so proud and keep us doing this work. And
Yes.
it's not easy for anybody. And, you viewers, people who comment, who reach out to us, like, we appreciate you so much. And all we want to do is continue leading with respect and with good intentions. And, not to say we don't make mistakes, but we are certainly, going to continue and do the very best that we
Going to
can.
keep her name, Heidi's name, out there, and we are going to continue to look for answers, and we are going to continue to work as hard as we do.
Yeah.
And, hopefully soon, but there's no way of knowing. It will eventually. We will have the answers. Everybody will. So as news comes out, if there are any updates, we will absolutely 100% be immediately bringing them to you as they come about. But until then, we love that you guys are here with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Please press that like button.
Yes,
Please,
subscribe.
please. Subscribe.
Bell button.
The more we can get this information out.
And
the
if you're
more
good
people
with if you're good with graphics,
Please.
we need help in that department. We need a little button that says speculation warning and stuff. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go take this guy out and
we will
play
be
some
doing
fetch,
real
I
quick
think.
update. We will be doing the domestic violence stream at some point next week. There's a
Yes,
lot of prep
very
and a lot of info. If anybody wants to put in their stories or information or resources on domestic violence, please email us. Please.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll be doing that very, very soon. All right, you guys. Thank you
right.
so much.
Love you.
Have a wonderful week.
Bye. Say bye,
Bye, guys.
Billy.
Bye, Billy.